Welcome to part 1 in my Splatoon 2 versus Splatoon Wii U comparison video. This is part 1 just because part 2 is going to be the typical, oh, let's compare Splatoon 2 to Splatoon Wii U. Let's do the typical side on shots. I'm not going to do that now just because it is unfair to compare direct feed Splatoon Wii U footage with live streamed Splatoon 2 footage. I've seen a couple of people do that. It's not really a fair comparison, but this comparison video, like part 1, is just going to be the stuff that I've noticed that are different in Splatoon 2 compared to Splatoon Wii U. So let's start off with Inkopolis. So Inkopolis has changed from Splatoon Wii U to Splatoon 2, and the main reason for that is that it isn't Inkopolis anymore. It is a completely new and different place. So Inkopolis in Splatoon 2 is actually Inkopolis Square, and it is a couple of stations away from Inkopolis, and basically the times have changed, the trends have changed, and Inkopolis is no longer the place to meet. Inkopolis Square is now the place to meet your fellow Inklings. So that is why Inkopolis looks different in Splatoon 2 to Splatoon Wii U. It definitely, from this screenshot, it definitely looks a little bit more closed in compared to Inkopolis in Splatoon Wii U. So that is a first change that I have noticed from Splatoon 2 to Splatoon Wii U. So let's just compare the actual game and the actual multiplayer match. So pretty much the lobby screen has changed. So compared to Splatoon Wii U, it has changed. I do believe the lobby screen, I don't think it is as dark as it was before, but there definitely is a change from the lobby screen in Splatoon 2 compared to Splatoon Wii U, and it's just, you know, the typical things that you would expect in a sequel. So, and that is the same for the next few things that I will be mentioning in this video. So the text at the start of the match definitely looks different to Splatoon Wii U. The font of the text is definitely different, and I guess the main change that everybody noticed from the Switch reveal trailer in October is that the spawning in animation is different compared to Splatoon Wii U. It definitely looks more detailed, and you can definitely, even though it is just, you know, live stream footage, I definitely feel like you can see upgraded textures in the character models as well, and that is just through the live streamed footage from the treehouse. I definitely did notice a difference there. I definitely did feel like the characters looked a lot more detailed than in Splatoon Wii U. So that spawning in animation is of course different in Splatoon 2 compared to Splatoon Wii U. And the in-game HUD has changed as well. So when you fill up your special meter, it goes into a multicolour like sort of scenario. So that was different compared to Splatoon Wii U, where it was just the same colour, just a little bit brighter, I do believe. So that is now multicoloured, and if you look at the squids in the top there, it is still the same sort of squids, but whenever somebody gets a special, like whenever their special meter fills up, their squid now goes into a multicolour sort of situation as well, sort of like the special meter. The special meter, when it's filled up, and when a teammate or when you get a special meter, they do turn into a multicolour sort of rainbow colour, and that was different compared to Splatoon Wii U. And of course the squids, they look different. Basically the HUD has changed a little bit. They are using different fonts, which is again what you would expect to see in a sequel. You don't expect them just to use the same fonts as the original game, otherwise you will just get people saying that it doesn't really feel like a sequel. So yeah, the HUD itself is sort of similar. I think the bottom left, the D-pad sort of shout outs that you can do, I do believe they are different they are different in Splatoon 2. Now, in Splatoon Wii U, the shouts were different from North America to Europe. So I'm not sure whether the shouts in the bottom left in Splatoon 2 is the same shouts as you guys got in North America in Splatoon Wii U. I do believe you guys got Come On and something else. So I'm not sure whether the D-pad shouts are different or not. But yeah, I just thought I would point that out in the bottom left just in case they are. So yeah, the general HUD is sort of similar, but I guess the main differences are that whenever you get a special, your special meter turns multicolored, and whenever a person gets a special, you can see it on the HUD. Whenever they do get a special, their squid turns into a multicolour sort of rainbow squid. Before I move away from the HUD, I just want to point out a few more changes that have been made to the HUD from Splatoon 2 compared to Splatoon Wii U. And the first one is that the squids in the top now display what weapons that player is using, which is really useful. So like if you got 3 of the enemies down, you know which one is left, and that is pretty cool. That is a pretty cool feature. Definitely I'm looking forward to using that. So like if there's like a charger left, I know that I can't just go head on with my Tentacake Splattershot or my Splattershot Junior. I have to work around the map, try and track them down, try and get them to a place where I'm in a better situation. So yeah, you got the squids. Got the squids in the top, you got the time that has moved from the left to the middle, and also in the special wheel it now displays what sub weapon you are using in the gap between the wheels. So that is pretty cool. Just some more changes that I did notice in the HUD. Although it is unfair to compare direct feed footage to live stream footage, I definitely did feel like Splatoon 2 looked better than Splatoon Wii U, even though, it is live stream footage, even though this isn't direct feed footage. I definitely did feel like Splatoon 2 did look better than Splatoon Wii U. I've already mentioned the fact that I felt like the character models look more detailed than in Splatoon Wii U. And I guess the general lighting, I definitely feel like it was more realistic than what we saw in Splatoon Wii U. I definitely did feel like Splatoon 2 is using the more hardware that is available than the Wii U. Obviously the Switch is more powerful than the Wii U. And I definitely did feel like Splatoon 2 did show that off. I definitely did feel like the lighting was sort of more realistic than in Splatoon Wii U. And plus, we are getting more shadows and stuff like that. I definitely did notice more shadows than what we got in Splatoon Wii U. So yeah, and I definitely did feel like the trees look better as well. Maybe that was down to the shadows. But I definitely did notice more shadows than in Splatoon Wii U. So again, that sort of stuff will be more, easy to spot when I do compare direct feed footage from Splatoon Wii U to direct feed footage to Splatoon 2, and that is what I will be doing when I do get my hands on the game. So there are new victory animations and new defeat animations as well, and plus whenever you are finding out who has won, it is a little bit different to Splatoon Wii U, just because in Splatoon Wii U there was just one judge there. Now there is 2 judges for each team, and of course whatever team wins, either the left one or the right one will put up their flag. But if the other one is defeated, then of course they will look a little bit downbeat, and they will look a little bit downhearted, and they will look at the floor. So yeah, that's a little bit different from Splatoon Wii U, how we have got 2 judges on screen as well. So also the end screen as well, so the scoreboard at the end looks a lot different from Splatoon Wii U as well. So there's just the general stuff that I noticed from like in terms of the gameplay that we did see in the Treehouse live stream. But of course there are some other differences from Splatoon 2 to Splatoon Wii U, and that is the fact that there are all new special weapons in Splatoon 2. So none of the special weapons from Splatoon Wii U will be making an appearance in Splatoon 2. And there are some new sub-weapons as well. We found out that there is going to be a new curling sub-weapon which does bounce back off of the walls. So it's sort of like the Seeker. I do believe the Seeker is returning in Splatoon 2. But the difference between the Seeker and the curling sub-weapon is that whenever a Seeker hits a wall, it explodes. But with the curling sub-weapon, whenever it does hit a wall, it will bounce back off of that wall. So that is a new sub-weapon for Splatoon 2. Of course, there are going to be new weapons for Splatoon 2. And the one what we know of so far are the Splat Duelists. So pretty much you have two weapons and you have access to a new dodging mechanic, which looks really fun to use. I am definitely going to be using the Splat Duelists first when I do unlock them, just because they do look really fun to use. The Splat Duelists got two weapons in one hand, or two weapons in both hands now. And yeah, it definitely is a new mechanic for Splatoon, the dodging mechanic, which is, I do believe, exclusive to the Splat Duelists. So I definitely am looking forward to trying out the Splat Duelists. But they are also changing how some of the weapons from Splatoon Wii U will work in Splatoon 2. So the charger has changed. So now in Splatoon 2 you can save your charge and store it, and you can move position and immediately let out your full charge shot. And that is different to Splatoon Wii U, where whenever you charge your shot, it will let out that shot immediately. Now you can save it, you can move around and let out your shot whenever you do spot an opponent. So that is different from Splatoon Wii U. And the roller has changed as well. So now you can jump and use your attack and fling button to fling ink, and basically a vertical thinner stream of ink will fly out from your weapon, but that will travel further than just the conventional fling of a roller. So that is different from Splatoon Wii U. Also, a big difference between Splatoon 2 and Splatoon Wii U is the addition of the map by pressing X. Now obviously in Splatoon Wii U you had the map on the gamepad screen, but obviously on the Switch second screen gaming is not possible due to the fact that you have to have your console docked to be able to have the picture displayed and the gameplay displayed on your TV. So how Splatoon 2 does it is by pressing X and a map will appear, and you can super jump to your teammate by pressing one of the D-pad options, or also you can do it by mouse control as well. You can use the gyro in the Joy-Cons or in the Switch Pro controller to select a teammate on screen. So instead of looking down at your Wii U gamepad, if you want to see how the match is panning out in Turf War, you will have to press X on the controller, and a map will be displayed over the gameplay. So that is a massive difference between Splatoon 2 and Splatoon Wii U. They're just all of the differences that I have noticed so far. Of course there are going to be more differences, and that is something which I will probably point out in part 2 of my Splatoon 2 versus Splatoon Wii U comparison sort of series that I will be doing on this channel. Now what is important to mention is that the stuff that I did mention here might change, like between now and when we do get the game. It is due to come out in the summer, but the stuff like the HUD and the stuff like the font text might change from now up until the game actually releases. So if it does, then of course I will point that sort of stuff out in my next comparison video. So yeah, I wanted to make this comparison video a little bit different due to the fact that I didn't really feel like it was fair to compare direct feed footage to live stream footage. I'm sure some people will say, and I've seen it on the other comparison videos on YouTube, that oh, Splatoon 2, it doesn't look that much different to Splatoon Wii U. Well, that is a bit unfair to judge that, just because like we are seeing live stream footage, and you know, the footage that we did see in these comparison videos are using the Treehouse live footage, and I saw somebody using really poorly captured Splatoon Wii U footage as well. So yeah, I just thought I'll try and make this comparison as fair as possible with the resources that I do have available to me. So when I do get the game and when I do capture Splatoon 2 myself, that is when I will compare the graphics and the animations even more. But I definitely feel like you can see a difference from Splatoon 2 to Splatoon Wii U in terms of the animations and in terms of the general graphics, like the lighting and the shadows in Splatoon 2 as well. I definitely feel like there is a difference there, but that sort of stuff will be more you know, you will be able to see it more in direct feed footage, and I do believe Splatoon 2 will look a lot better than what we did see in the Treehouse live stream as well. So that is it for this video, and I will see you next time. Make sure you're checking out the Splatoon 2 series playlist, where I will list you my ideas for what I want to see in Splatoon 2, as well as I will be rounding up all of the details and all of the news surrounding Splatoon 2 as well. So make sure you're checking out that series playlist on my main channel page, and make sure you're hitting that subscribe button for more Splatoon 2. But for the moment, that is it for this video, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.